go by party. If I'm thinking of Doug Ford and the PC Conservatives, $2 billion towards infrastructure. As you said, it's a sexy, really headline grabbing thing. I think it's probably necessary. I question like how much of this is already being spent on infrastructure, on wastewater. Like, is this something that we're already doing? Then that sounds good, but I would hope that they're already investing in wastewater infrastructure. Like that seems like
I may as well jump in there, because that's my take on it, is that Doug Ford called the election. He thinks he's in a strong position. So instead of promising something new, he's like, why don't I just write down on a sheet of paper what we're already doing? This budget's already spent. We're like, and wastewater. I'm like, yeah, well, we know that that's required. He could put also building highways, because he's already committed to improving our transportation, metro links as well. So, it's basically like, oh, this is what any government, doesn't matter what color, should be doing.
They should be spending on infrastructure, number one. I think transportation is probably a little bit more of has historically been a little bit more of a political topic. Do you want to invest in transportation? Not a big Doug Ford fan, but he's done really well with transportation and bringing more transportation available, specifically subway lines and infrastructure in that regard. We don't see eye to eye on a number of other topics, but I do want to give him his flowers for getting transportation built and subways built.
Don't forget that it was almost an overnight decision, the amount of power this guy wields. He brought paper bags back to the LCBO in like a blink. He promised it one day and boom, next time I was there, would you like a bag, sir? I mean, I'm already using reusable bags. Like, they've conditioned me. So I don't know if it had a huge impact on my life, but that's the kind of moves that this guy can pull off.
Well, imagine if he brought back plastic straws, right? And then you can have your 40 in the bag, in the paper bag, and a straw coming out of the top. You'd be set. Bring you right back to the 90s.
Make Ontario great again.
Yeah, I mean, I think that his that policy seems like something they're already doing. Anything else he's proposing around housing seems controversial. If you want to throw the highway in, that Northern Bypass or Bradford Bypass, that's very controversial. So he's not really putting those things out front. That although he did say that if he's elected, he will be tunneling under the 401, which to me seems like the craziest idea that we could possibly do. I don't see how that helps for the amount of dollars that are going into doing that. How would that possibly? We can spend that way better on different.
Is that even from the Elon Musk playbook? Like, I know Elon years ago was trying to tunnel under California to build a new highway. He's digging a hole or whatever. So that seems pretty harebrained.
That was
idea.
one lane that they were building. Like Elon was building. I forget where it was. I want to say Texas, but I think you're right. It was in California.
And
that never really got off the ground. I think we could put that into. We could put that into other transportation projects, other subways, other GO train, get people off the roads rather than allowing more building. I know people see it as like, we need bigger and bigger lanes. Like, we're already like 15, however many lanes wide the 401 is.
It's insane.
And we need more lanes. Like,
or buy the 407 or something, do something with
Exactly. Like, that would be a much better use of money. Buy the 407 and then people can drive on it, or put all the trucks onto the 407 and pay for their transponder fees. Like that, it costs you way less money, that frees up so much space on the 401 to have commuter traffic go, or tax a certain, tolls or whatever, like whatever you want to make it an incentive or a fee to drive at certain times. That's going to be a much better use of taxpayer dollars than tunneling under the 401.
Probably right about that. So, like, overall, I would say that the PC electoral platform to do with housing, it's it's a non-starter for me.
Yeah.
I don't think from their perspective that it needs to be.
Right.
So let's move over to the liberal. Oh, is that
I
sort of
want to
your?
give it I want to give it a grade. I'm going to give it a C plus. I think they were already doing it. I think they've just done the bare minimum. It's a passing grade, but I don't think they're feeling in a position where they need to say anything extreme. They don't need to make any promises because, as you said, they're in the pole position here.
C plus. I'll go B minus. So we're pretty close on
Okay.
this one.